Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Bye up, bye up. In a minuto style in a direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button thing. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. And I highly appreciate all the support, man. We're going up on this channel. It's all because of you. And for that, I can say I'm very humbled and I'm very appreciative. So gracias. So Little Dave, ex-president of the Mongols, ex-national president of the Mongols, his charges got dropped, right? DA reject, that's what they're calling it, right? That's actually a prison term, DA reject. On the streets, it's actually called no complaint. So they no complainted him, right? Why? There's a lot of people whispering about why this man's charges got dropped. And it could be a number of reasons. But let me explain to you, for those of you that don't know what happened, Little Dave got caught up in what is alleged to become a bar fight or something in Pasadena, and where there was actually 4 other individuals that approached Little Dave, and some words were exchanged for whatever reason, and Little Dave allegedly got cracked in his whole mouthpiece, right? Now, people are saying Little Dave pulled out a box cutter and defended himself or got to cutting, and someone's throat got sliced in the progress of what was going on, the process of what was happening. Now, I've had homeboys in prison that got into bar fights, got ran up on in a bar, were just minding their own business with their old lady, doing their own thing. Their old lady gets disrespected. They defend her. 4 or 5 dudes jump on them. He pulls out a piece, pulls out a knife, gets to whacking, gets to doing his thing. And he's sitting in prison doing 15 to life, right? I've seen it many, many times. You know, anytime that you use a weapon in the commission of a crime, you're looking at some time. You're looking at some serious time. You know, there is no self-defense in the state of California. There's no self-defense in a lot of different states. So, you know, it doesn't matter. What you're supposed to do, like they say, is just take it. Take one on the chin or use your fist to protect yourself. Or call the police is what they're saying, right? Now, of course, Little Dave didn't call the police. He defended himself allegedly. But for the DA to look at all the details of this alleged crime and to no complain it or to reject the crime, wow. They don't just do that for everyone. That's a special favor. That's something different. That's like Brick Baby on the dead homies, right? From No Jumper, all of a sudden, this man gets allegedly caught with an AK, and he says the DA rejects it. They said, nah, we're cool. You can just carry AKs. We're not even going to charge you with it. Oh, tight T.I. motherfucker, rubber band man. You can have whatever you like, right? No, you can't have whatever you like. And now you got Whack 100 on Baru and on the dead homies, got right. They're going at it, calling each other rats over the whole Little Durk situation, which I haven't even touched on the Little Durk situation at all, because no one really cares in California, to be totally honest with you, what Little Durk was or was not doing. And that's just being honest, right? There's a lot of people that don't even know who Little Durk is. I do. I like his music. And I hope that, man, whatever he's into or whatever they're alleging he did, he's able to get away from that. But that's a whole different story for a different day. Now, as far as these, I only bring up Brick Baby because he's saying the same thing that the DA rejected. Why all of a sudden is the DA rejecting everything? So basically, you can get caught, you can do whatever you want, assault people, get caught with knives, guns, whatever, and the DA is just going to reject it? That ain't never happened before. Why all of a sudden is it starting to happen now? Or is there more than meets the eye? Now, I'm the last one on earth that wants to sit here and point fingers and say, well, this guy is owed special favors because he gave up dirt on certain things. Like, I don't know if Little Dave told or didn't tell, or was working with the federal agents or wasn't. Either way, he befriended a federal agent, and I don't think his club or anyone thought too kindly of that. You know, I know when I was in Norteño, man, we used to have one of the rules was no fraternizing with the canine, meaning don't sit there and get all good with the canine unless you're going to get something from them. Unless you can convince them to work on your behalf to, facilitate something for you, there's no reason to just sit there and fucking be all cool with them and be friends with them. They are on one side of the fence, you are on one side. Their whole mission is to keep your ass locked up and locked down and to make sure that you follow the rules and the standards and and don't fuck up the integrity of that institution or that prison or that yard, right? And believe me, if you do, they're gonna stomp all over you. And your whole mission, it was like the cat, like the cat and the mouse, or the fucking robber and the police, right? Your whole thing was to get away with as much as you can and do what you do on that yard without the cops finding out about it. So the last thing you want to do is sit there and conversate or converse and chill with the cop, because that ain't gonna, people are gonna think funny of you. You know, what are you telling him to make him smile like that? It ain't a fucking joke. So anyways, for little Dave to already be in a situation where in the past, he self-admitted that he had a good relationship with this cop, that he was utilizing this federal agent to help him. Do you think he was outsmarting this federal agent? This federal agent wasn't smart enough to say, hey, bro, I'm going to get something about you too. You know what I'm saying? Let me reach up in there and grab. Oh, those are balls. Let me grab something else, right? No diddy. He was in that motherfucker grabbing and getting too. Believe me, he's a federal agent. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to tell you everything. And he wasn't a crooked cop. You know, was Lil Dave a crooked biker? That's the question. So when I seen that Lil Dave caught this charge, or didn't even catch a charge, basically, that he was being charged and sat down in the county just overnight. He's already out. You know, and I heard yesterday, they said, hey, Lil Dave got out. I was like, oh shit. Did he get bailed out already? Like, damn, he went quick bail hearing, whatever. No complaining. No, he's not charged. So there's a dude in a hospital right now with a cutthroat. Other motherfuckers, you know, the people that were all right there in the bar that seen all this shit go down, or the restaurant or wherever this happened at, right? And the guy who actually did the cutting, allegedly, is just walking around. It's all good. Now, that's a win for little Dave. No doubt about it. Do I want to see him locked up? Am I mad because he's not? Absolutely not. Man, if you can get away with some shit, you can get away with some shit. It's the way the world works, right? But why and how? For anyone who's been incarcerated, who've been in the streets or in the gangs and lived that life, you understand that you don't get away with much. You know, there's motherfuckers locked up in prison right now that are innocent. They couldn't even get away with shit that they didn't do, right? So this man is seen by all kinds of witnesses doing this. And because he was getting jumped on, or because he got cracked first, he was able to do that? No, there is no self-defense law in the state of California. I don't care who hits you or what they do. You got to take that one on the chin, man, and just do you. So it goes back to the whispers of what people are saying. I seen one other channel, he's talking about, well, this proves right here that little Dave, you know, had favors coming. Now, I don't know. When you're dealing with the feds and all that, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. You know, if you're a confidential informant, if you've been known in the past to work with them and you catch a case locally, you know, in the state, yeah, I'm sure they could step in and say, hey, man, this is one of our CIs, this is one of our guys, you know, drop these charges. We're working on something bigger than this bullshit. You know, in the past, this is what made little Dave look bad. Well, a couple different things. One was while he was fraternizing with this federal agent and his club was going at it with the government or whatever, for whatever reasons, right? The government felt compelled to, you know, try to take this biker club down. That's just a club, you know, as he's becoming friends with this guy and utilizing him like he said he did, you know, there was a lot of little cases that he was catching. You know, one thing I noticed about little Dave, and I'm sure a lot of people that have been around him noticed, you know, I've had just a couple conversations with him, is that he likes to drink a little bit. Who doesn't? Who doesn't like to get a little drunk and act out of character? And this man, you know, seems like every time he does it, he finds himself in a bad situation, you know, with the cops or with his wife or with whoever. You know, it's his life, man. He's a grown adult. He can drink if he wants to. Some people can hold their liquor, some people can't. And while all this shit was going on with the feds and he was becoming best friends, besties with the exit strategy guy, you know, I need an exit strategy as he's becoming friends with that guy. He was catching cases locally and he was getting let out and they were going away and things were happening. And this is the one reason and the one reason only that people were like, wow, how are you able to get away with so much? Well, the beat goes on like a whisper song because he's continuing to get away with things. Does that mean he's a rat and he's telling on everyone? I don't know. That's up for you to judge. And in fact, that's not even for you to judge. No man shall judge another man without knowing what it is, right? And period. Only God can judge you, right? But, I mean, it does seem tricky when you cut someone's throat, allegedly, and you get out the next damn day. How do I know? Because I cut a motherfucker's throat. I didn't get out the next day. Let me explain to you. I was incarcerated and I got into it with an individual and we had words and I opened my big fucking mouth and I told him, hey, bro, you know what I mean? If I see you on this yard again, you already know what it is. And he said, okay, well, it is what it is. 2 weeks later, I didn't see him for about 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I seen him, pulled out the piece, got to cutting. In the commission of that, he gets his throat cut a little bit, right? Now, do you think that they dropped my case or that they didn't charge me or they no complaining? Oh, hell nah. That was some bullshit. They charged me with aggravated attempted murder. They charged me with assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a dangerous and deadly weapon. Now, ultimately, I got a lawyer. I was able to fight these charges and get everything dropped on down to a measly assault 2, but, right, and pick up just 3 more years instead of 100. The thing is, I didn't get a slap on the wrist and get to go home. Okay, I picked up that case, even though this dude was 6 foot, whatever he was, way bigger than me and all that, and was beating the holy shit. I ain't gonna lie, man. He was putting hands on me. I put peace in him, though. What I'm saying, I say that to say this. I've been through that. I didn't get the cases dropped on me. I didn't get non-complaining. I picked up more time, and I did my time like a champion. That's just what it is. So I don't understand that, little Dave's out here. All these different cases that he's picking up continue to be dropped or no complaining or DA rejects. And I just think that there's something tricky going on here. It starts when the pattern starts to get noticed, it starts to get noticed. Now, again, we weren't right there. I definitely wasn't right there to see what happened in the situation. And I've heard whispers about it. And I know Dubs did a video yesterday and he said, did this guy avoid a hit? Now, I didn't want to speak on it too much, what I know, but allegedly, the guys that he got into it with were past friends, not foes, right? Where they were from, I won't say, but they were past friends, not foes. And so they felt some type of way about him. So, of course, man, he did what he had to do to protect himself. Was it a hit? I don't know if it was a hit. They were going specifically to that fucking spot to get him. I don't know if people want him that bad for whatever reason. Again, like I said, I've never seen paperwork that says that little Dave told on anyone. I just think there's a lot of mysterious things that happens around him, right? It just is what it is, man. I haven't been privy to that. I know that there was a video that was made that said a judge said that little Dave was not working with the feds, that he was not telling, not snitching. But I know this is a fact. The judge will not out a CI. The judge, in good conscience, can never expose a CI or expose someone for being a rat. They just can't do that. It's not the way the world works, right? It's not the way that works. So that is not enough to say he wasn't, right? Was he? Really, ultimately, who does it affect? Well, his club, for sure. And the people around him, his family, for sure. Me and you, no. It just be being a fucking comadre and chisme to sit here and say, oh, he's a rat, he's this, he's that. I don't give a fuck if he is or not, tell you the truth. It just boggles my mind when I see people that are regular Joe Schmo citizens or gang members or whatever they are get caught up for the exact type of crimes that little Dave catches and they get stretched out. They do time. I really ultimately thought that this was little Dave's. I was like, damn, this fool fucked up, man. If they catch him up on this, it's a wrap. Now, I figured he'd have a defensive attorney. He'd go, maybe get a little bit of time dropped, whatever. But I thought he was going to go sit down in prison. But to have the DA reject it? Come on now. That's like Brick Baby. Oh, the DA rejected my AK case. If you don't stop it on the dead homie, come on, bro. They don't do that. And I know C-Mac sitting down on a gun charge that the gun didn't even work. That motherfucker's in the feds. So you're trying to tell me that you had an AK, bro, and the DA said, nah, that's cool. We're going to give you a freebie on this one. You can just kick it with that. You know what I mean? We're just going to go ahead and keep that and you can do it pushing. It doesn't work that way, man. I don't give a fuck who you try to bullshit. These civilians that don't know better. Man, right now, if I get caught with a slingshot, I'm going to prison for a whole bunch of years. A goddamn slingshot that I made out of a wishbone from a turkey for Thanksgiving. it's just different for different people, I guess. You know, and people try to say, well, it's because I'm well known and I'm a celebrity. Man, if you don't stop that bullshit, I bet you P. Diddy's in there, man. I really want to ride with you, want to cry with you. Nah, you ain't doing none of that with me. His ass is sitting down and he's going to stay sat it down for a long time. So all that celebrity shit and all that, man, throw that shit away. Ultimately, I'm going to give you my perspective on what I think. Okay, what I think you don't have to go with. But when I see people that continuously get out on these charges, no complained, DA fucking reject, whatever label you want to put on it, you working with somebody, bro. You telling on something. Something's going on here. Something ain't right. Because I've seen too many people sitting down in prison for the exact same thing with less of a criminal record than you. Do you understand that only if little Dave was working with the feds, I could see, them owing him a favor or him calling in a favor. But shit, he didn't sit down for one day. Now, this might have been just a superficial scratch, non-life threatening, not a big deal, man. Maybe the guy didn't want to press charges. There's a whole lot that could go into it. So before people start jumping the gun and be like, hey, this dude ratted, he's fucking, the feds helped him, this and that, like a lot of people are saying, there's a lot of things that could have happened, Again, when they put out the article and people said, oh man, he got locked up for attempted murder and he cut someone's throat, man, he could have been a little scratch. Dude could have went to the hospital. They sewed him up. Do you want to press charges? No, I ain't pressing no charges. I ain't doing that. And according to what I heard, what I'm not going to really speak on who these guys were, I could see that happening. I don't think they would press charges, period, plain and simple, right? So maybe that was what it was. Maybe it was just a simple altercation where little Dave was spotted, someone felt some type of way or words were exchanged and punches were thrown, allegedly, and a box cutter came out. But even being in possession of a weapon and utilizing it in the commission of a crime, you would think that a motherfucker would sit down for a while. So you could just cut people's throats or slice them up and then they say, nah, I don't want to press charges. Usually the DA picks that up anyways. They don't need the victim to say. They take it to a grand jury. The grand jury 100% indicts 100% all the time. I don't even know why they have grand juries. That's just a farce is what they call it. It's a facade, something that they put on, man, is like a fucking show. But the grand jury usually convicts, or not convicts, but indicts 100% of the time. And then that's how this DA is able to pick up these charges and boom. Now, let me tell you one thing about a DA reject or a non-complaint, which the DA reject is just another word for non-complaint. They still have 3 years to charge you. Okay, and usually this is the way it works. It's happened to me before. So trip out. One time, I'll tell you guys a quick little story. One time I was mobbing. I was living in Tacoma, Washington, right? And I was mobbing, and there was a Southerner there. And this was when I was active. I was active as fuck. Mongolian. I didn't give a fuck, right? And there was a Southsider there. He was probably like 20, 21 years old, little young buck. I was like 24, 25. I was young too, though. And I was with the homie, and we seen him. He had a fat-ass fucking rope, gold chain, chunky with a big-ass piece. And I walked up to him. I was like, damn, what's up, Bessie? Right? And he was like, oh, what's up, homie? What's up? He was all happy. He didn't know what I was because I wasn't wearing red. I was just in black, whatever. And dude was right there. And I was like, yeah. Where you from? He said, I'm just rain, this, and that. All right, cool. You know where I'm from? He's like, nah, where you from? I said, Norte. And he was like, what? And he didn't even know what I was. And I snatched his chain. Give me that shit, punk. Right? And he took off. He was like, fuck that. Because there was two of us. He wasn't no punk or nothing. But he took off. He didn't want to get jumped on, right? So the homeboy chases him, cracks him. He runs, whatever, right? Stupid gangbanging stuff. I ended up getting locked up on a whole nother case, right? And that comes up. I guess this dude went and called the cops on me. And they got me on camera because where we were at, we were at a parking lot of a fucking store. They see me on camera, do this fucking lick or whatever. They know complaining me on it. Okay, they know complaining me on it. I ended up doing some time in the county jail. I get out. About a year later, I pick up my case, right? And that no complaining thing pops back up and they hit me with that charge too. So you just never know when they can get you, man. I've seen it happen plenty of times. So all this DA reject shit, man, later on they can turn around and boom, basil your ass, right? And then they got you. Being boozled. But as far as little Dave, is he talented? Did that help him get out? All these people that are spreading propaganda and calling him a snitch and a rat, man, have you actually seen real paperwork of him telling on someone? You haven't. And is it anyone's business but his club and his business? It isn't. So I am not going to sit here and call that man a rat and saying that this is what helped him. But I'm going to say, man, it does look it looks suspicious is the word. Highly suspicious. So anyways, with that being said, man, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is not being a comadre. This is just content, man. This is just my perspective on why or how he got out, man. I've seen a lot of people lately getting out, and it's fucking throwing me for a loop, man. The system is watered down. Like, fuck. Wow. Cool. It's cool that people get out and they're not locked up. I don't want to see no one locked up, but wow. Shit, bro. It's a fucking make a motherfucker want to go cut someone's throat. Shit. They're going to no complain me. My luck, I'll fucking want to get stretched out for life, huh? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hold that. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. And that's the betterment of all people. The gun.